Hello, this is Janine Thompson, and this is Just Saying Wisdom. I'm so glad you're here. Have you ever had one of those days? I'm sure you have. And then it turns into one of those weeks. Well, that's the kind of week I've had. It's just been crazy. And I can't say that I've enjoyed it much, but I've learned a lot. And I wanted to share this video because it's definitely not the one that I had planned to film, but because of circumstances and the way it went, I almost talked myself out of doing it. But I had made a commitment that I was going to do this video every week and be consistent in it. And in order to honor my own word to myself, I'm making this video. And I'm just going to be talking a little bit about keeping your word to yourself and why that's important, and at least why it's important to me. I have had several things come to me in the last, well, it's been over my lifetime, but it seems like we learn a lesson and then we go back and review it and we hear it again, and then we hear it with new ears and see things with new eyes, and we learn more. And that's kind of the space I've been in lately. I wanted to do this video for the longest time, or not this video, but this channel. And I have talked myself out of it many times, and I started it, and then I had some big events in my life that involved huge things that took up my time. I could list a few, one of which is just going through being a caretaker for someone, my daughter, who had transplant surgery, and we had weddings, and we just had lots going on last year. So anyway, I started and then I stopped. But this time I've had some things come up in my life where I lost all my savings through fraud, and I am right at the time when I wanted to retire. And so I've decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my plans to retire, and I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way to make ends meet, to pay my bills, and to keep on going. And this channel is one of the things that I decided I was going to do, and I was going to be consistent, and I was going to show up, if not for anybody else, for myself. And this is a new channel, and I'm doing things that I'm very uncomfortable doing, but I want to learn to speak I want to be able to do the right kind of speaking, have my speaking abilities be improved. I want my presentation to be improved. I want my stories to be told, and I'm pretty good at writing, but when it comes to expressing myself out loud and in public, I get frozen. And so this is a new area for me, and I'm taking it on. I'm doing the challenge. And so I'm also, I'm putting myself out there and being very vulnerable, but at the same time, I want to learn. And so I'm inviting anyone who happens to follow me on this journey. And right now, it's pretty safe to just film and say, okay, well, it is what it is, because I don't have the following that in the community that I hope that I can build. But it doesn't matter, because it's helping me develop into the person that I want to be and to reach some goals, not only financially. This is going to help me in so many areas, because it's going to improve my confidence. And one of the reasons is because I'm keeping my word to myself, and that's very important. And that keeps coming up in my life, about keeping your word to yourself. And I am pretty good about keeping my word to everybody else, but I can't say that I always keep my word to myself. And I came across this article that was written, and I wanted to share some of the points that he brought up on this subject. And this is by a man named Brad Peterson. And if I'm going to go ahead and read it, I know that that's probably not the best way of presenting, but I don't want to misquote him, and at the same time, I didn't prepare. So I have been this is him quoting. I'm quoting him. I had been building a bad reputation with myself, having developed bad habits and an attitude that was unbecoming. The truth is, self-esteem is not believing we're amazing or worthy. It's the relationship between who we think we are and what we actually do. It's our relationship with ourselves and how we view ourselves when no one else is watching. We know whether the person in the mirror is worth trusting. That really is one that I'm going to put up. I want to know that the person in the mirror is worth trusting. So every time we procrastinate or flake out on the promises that we make to ourselves, it becomes a withdrawal, and it's a hit on our credibility. And that credibility is to ourselves, not, it's not to anybody else. It's how credible are we to us. And I'm using the we word a lot, but I'm talking to myself more than anybody else. And going on here, he says, every time I break a promise to myself, I widen the gap. And that gap is, he explained earlier, was a strained relationship with himself. And he says, every time I break a promise to myself, I widen the gap. And every time I keep a promise, I close it a little bit. And I just thought that his points were beautifully expressed. And I want to be the kind of person that can look in the mirror and know without a doubt that I am a person of integrity and that I can be trusted, not only to do the things that I say I will do for others, but the things that I say I want to do to improve my own self and to reach my own goals. And I don't know about you, but self-sabotage, it's that little voice in our minds and that's just constantly nagging us that we're not capable and that we're not, we're too scared, we're too old, we're too whatever. There's so many twos that I have a list a mile long. But in this thing, it's important enough to me now to say, I want to have the time that I have left to spend with my family, to get to know them. And there's a big barrier with me because my family is scattered over hundreds of miles. And so it's a big sacrifice for a family with little children to come see grandma. It's not as hard for us to get together if I go see them. And right now, it's a situation where it's a difficult thing, but I want to change that. It's going to change. And I have a lot of plans, and this YouTube channel is definitely one of those things. It's a way to communicate. It's a way to build some friends and some community that I need in my life. And it's also a way that I can share the things that I've learned along the way that I think are very valuable. And one of those, as my description and stuff says, is just to preserve the stories of our lives. We have amazing stories, and they need to be told. We should not be taking these things to the grave with us. And so my planned video this week that didn't happen was to start a series going through the TREASURE acronym that I introduced a couple of weeks ago, and to take each letter and go through those. And I got some great stories to tell, and I hope that they'll be entertaining and insightful. And so I hope you'll tune in for those. They will be coming. But like I said, this week just kind of hit me, and the reason I'm doing this video, it's just one of those things where I'm just going to sit down and I'm going to do it and I'm going to post it, and at least it will have gotten done, because it's important to me to keep my word to myself that these get done. And this is the only way I could see that it would happen this week. And I also, like I said, I want to invite feedback on what I can do with my channel to make it better. So if you have insights, I'd love to hear them. I'd love to learn from you. And you know, there's so many people out there there's so much more knowledge in this kind of thing than me. I'm definitely a greenie in this area. So anyway, I know I'm rambling. I have a tendency to do that. So I try to keep things more concise going forward. But another thing that I did want to share was that this Brad Peterson wrote in his article that his father taught him and made the statement several times that the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago, and the next best time is today. Well, I didn't get my tree planted 10 years ago, even though I thought about it. I never got around to doing it, and now I'm doing it. I'm planting that tree today, and I hope it will offer beauty, shade, comfort to my family and to many people around the world in the days to come and the years to come. And that's my hope and desire. The last thing that I'm going to share, as far as what Brad Peterson said, is the one person whose word you should be able to believe is you. And so I invite your comments and look forward to hearing from them. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to growth in all ways. Just saying.